what's going on? I'm Jamie Dawn, your professional psychic advisor, success coach, evolutionary, revolutionary astrologer, bringing you your celestial wisdom video for the new moon solar eclipse in Sagittarius week. December 13th, the eclipse is actually the 14th, 15th, but I'm going to talk about some of the energies leading up to that, as well as things that are happening during the week after this eclipse. But of course, that is the talk of the town. Also, thank you so much for liking, subscribing, sharing, commenting on this channel, and of course on my social media, and find me at jamiedawn.com. A couple of you have asked about this statue that's sitting back here, and I really love her. I'll just tell you about her. It was a statue that I saw in New Orleans when I was visiting there a year and a half ago, and I just fell in love with her. And anyways, she's laughing, she's riding her magic carpet, and she's just reminding me, and she's an older woman, you know, you can see, I don't know if you can see it in the video, but she's definitely got the I'm over 40 age. So it reminded me a lot of me, and just a reminder of how to really play and have fun. And I think that's what this Sagittarius energy is all about, is renewing. We have this beautiful new moon to renew our hope and our faith that good things really are going to happen for us. And as I've said on previous videos, and I'll continue to offer, please let's look at 2020 and find the goodness. There are obvious negatives. There are things that could have gone terribly wrong too that didn't happen, or maybe things could have gone so much better. And we've been irritated as hell with this whole pandemic stuff and mask wearing, and when will the vaccine come out, and you know, when can I actually hug somebody again, and you know, all that sort of thing. And I feel that this is the beginning. This is the turning point where we can really, truly feel like there's some hope. Now, does that mean that we get back to everything normal again? Not necessarily. But I think just having that optimism, I know for myself, if I have something to look forward to, I can feel much more inspired. And that's the beautiful gift of Sagittarius as well. Remember too, that new moons are invitations to become receptive. Usually a new moon is not a time for us to go out and do a lot of activity, but it's a time to really open and receive the feminine channel, really open it up in a way that allows us to encompass the energy that comes in. And this new moon is an eclipse with the south node, so it's offering opportunities to honor these gifts that are natural talents that we bring into our everyday lives. And then we can discover new ways to generously share them, because remember, we've got Jupiter as the ruler of Sagittarius. And so we can find ways to generously share our gifts and talents with others. And the reason I'm bringing this up is those of you who have seen my nodes videos on Hag TV, you understand that I talk about how the north and south node, the head of the dragon, the tail of the dragon, so the head is the north node, tail is the south node. The south node, yes, it is our past. It's things that we may do unconsciously. They say in some ways, it's the things we're eliminating. If you look at it from the dragon perspective, it's the butt of the dragon, right? So it's a place where all the shit goes and comes, and you know. So one of the things that I am really passionate about as well is about integration, and that we need the crap in our lives to use it as compost. To be able, in permaculture, you use it as a way to enrich the soil. So without the crap, we wouldn't be able to have the nutrients that we need to grow new life and new things. So I'm going to offer that this new moon in Sagittarius will give us opportunities to take some of the things that maybe we do unconsciously, or that we do habitually without thinking, call it karma in that way, the conditioned tendencies. And we can actually go, okay, I noticed that I have a tendency to withdraw and maybe separate myself from others naturally, and I just don't reveal everything that's happening for me and what I'm really thinking, so people may not trust what I'm thinking. anyways, as an example. And so how can I take this time of withdrawal and notice it and then make a conscious effort to connect? And it may just be connecting with one person. Maybe you're not somebody who is a verbal processor, and you reach out to your best friend, you say, look, I'm doing things differently. I really just want to withdraw and be quiet and not tell anybody anything, but I'm going to talk to you instead to try and change the way in which I naturally do something. So that's one way. Another way is you may be a natural communicator and maybe lend yourself to gossip. And instead of gossiping, maybe you take that communication and you integrate it in a way that is beneficial to others, right? To be able to say, instead of talking about somebody, maybe I'll go to them and give them some constructive feedback. So those are just some examples. This is also a reminder we're in the 12th month of the year. I've been using the hero's journey. Those of you who read my blog, you understand how I've been leading up to this elixir month. And here we are, we're bringing our experiences from 2020 into the forefront, and we're bringing them back home, so to speak. And the elixir doesn't always mean that we've been victorious or we have struck it rich or whatever image you may need. Sometimes the elixir is, I may not have won. We'll use the example of like Rocky in the movie. He didn't necessarily win, but what he did get was he got his pride, he knew his strength and his fortitude, and he got the love of a good woman. Adrian, right? So there's elixir here. So what is the good that has come out of our lives? I think this new moon is going to really bring this to the forefront. The other thing that we can offer with this new moon, I really want us to pay attention to signs and messages that are coming and that are here to strengthen our hope and our faith that the universe really does have our back. So when you are in question mode, especially in this receptive mode, watch how the universe will bring, however you receive a harbinger of news, watch how that shows up. And it can be repeating numbers, it can be nature spirits, it can be somebody talking, a Cleton where, you're in the car and you turn on the radio and the lyrics are exactly what you needed to hear, or you knew it was a message from somebody on the other side. Could be that maybe you are able to still go out to the grocery store or the gym or whatever, and you hear somebody talking and they say exactly something that confirms what you needed to hear. So please dismiss nothing. For this next couple of days in particular, I offer dismiss nothing. This is such a powerful new moon as well that invites us to open up even more to what the future is holding for us and the role that we really want to play in creating this new reality that we've been talking about for so long. So we want to pay attention to how things are moving forward and what the role in which we want to play in the bigger picture. We may even be looking beyond 2021. So not only do we have this new moon eclipse on the 14th, but we have a trine going on between the new moon and Mercury with Mars. So this is a powerful drive. This is going to be something that can get us up and moving after we've taken time to receive. We're going to also have a sextile with Venus and Pluto. And this gives us the extra cosmic support to be able to manifest our deepest desires and to attract the right support and resources that we need to feel confident in our new opportunities. And the power that we need that can be found when we can trust our psychic. That's where the messages from spirit show up, as well as our physical sensitivities. So if your body is talking to you, listen to it. We may find ourselves very unyielding when it comes to something that we value the most. So pay close attention. If it happens on the eclipse, great. Most of the time it's usually days leading up or after, but there may be something that shows up that you're like, I'm not compromising this because it is my value. And I absolutely will put a stake in the ground and die on the sword by it, so to speak. And that's fine if that's what you need. The solar eclipse is also going to emphasize the necessity to complete the letting go of the past. So there may be some things in the past that you're finally done with. Doesn't it could be a relationship. I know that's up for most everybody, when they're looking at their lives, whether it's a romantic or business or friendship or loved one, whatever, family relationship. Oftentimes these eclipses bring out the relational part of us. But I would offer that this particular eclipse is going to be a letting go of expectations, a letting go of belief systems or fixed ways of thinking about something. And we can open our minds, we can expand our minds as a Sagittarius into other ways that we can be more authentic. And we want to move into a more authentic direction. And so we're going to have a lot of cosmic support continually with this, especially because right after this new moon eclipse on the 15th, we're going to have Venus moving into Sagittarius. So another emphasis on the Sagittarian energy. And remember, Venus is a planet who symbolizes what we attract, what we harmonize in love, beauty, relationships, values, finances. And she's going to make this move into the inspirational sign of Sagittarius. And she's going to probably energize us to be more seductive with our humor, maybe our carefree attitude and love for adventure. So we may find situations where we can continue to expand our ideas about love, about relationship, about our finances. It may be where, we're also very active in being able to think differently or more openly about what we may believe about our partner or about our lives or about ourselves even. It's possible that many of us may expand our horizons with foreigners or other cultures or subject matters. Beautiful, especially because here in the US, we're really still struggling with diversity. We're struggling with racism. So this could be a time where we actually get back to the discussion table and we talk about this issue and we open ourselves up to more educated discussions that actually can bring us back into harmony with our greatest truth and in being able to treat each other as equals. The other great thing about this Venus energy is that the day that Venus moves into Sagittarius, we're also going to have Chiron, our wounded healer planet, but also the great teacher, stationing direct in Aries. And so this will be setting us up for a beautiful trine between Venus and Chiron. And so what we may find is we're more inclined to create peace in the world, less dissension. Exactly what we've been needing, right? And I would imagine that we're also going to offer invitations to take concrete action towards this healing and implementing behaviors that support emotional self-regulation, integration, like I've been talking about, instead of suppressing all this sensitivity that we've been having. And this can give us a greater sense of confidence, of self-worth, and learning who we are and not apologizing for it. We've been working on this for a while. And I would say that, the setup, we had Uranus in Aries for 7 years before it moved into Taurus a year and a half ago permanently. Well, so I shouldn't say permanently, sorry, for the next 7 years, because it transits a sign every 7 years. But with Uranus and Aries, we really worked hard on individualizing and being independent and doing it in ways that were a little bit rebellious maybe and revolutionary. This is all setting us up now that we have Venus and Chiron. They're going to be interplaying with each other for a couple weeks, and we're going to have the opportunity to now show others, hey, this is what I've learned. This is how I'm expressing myself. And I can do it in a way that can be healing and also maybe teach a few things. And if we are open to receive and we keep this open-mindedness that comes with this beautiful Sagittarian season, then we may learn some more things about ourselves, about each other that we didn't even know. Because you have to remember, we'll never know truly everything there is to know about another person or even ourselves. There is this element of the great mystery that continues to be existent in this world. And because remember, we live in a dualistic world, and the dualism is brought together and held together cohesively through the mystery or the void, that third element. It's the glue. So 2 days after, of course, I have to talk about this for just a moment. You can go back to my Jupiter, Saturn, and Aquarius video that I did. And I've got the Jupiter, Saturn in Aquarius by sign videos that Joan has been editing. Thank you again, Joan. And they'll be released. We're hoping, I'm doing this video the week before the eclipse. So we're hoping to have all these by sign videos released on the new moon, but it may be a day after or two. We'll see what happens, because Joan is just working her butt off here. I gave her a lot to do in a short amount of time. So 2 days after this powerful eclipse, of course, we're going to have Saturn making its move into Aquarius on the 16th. And then on Saturday, the 19th, Jupiter moves into Aquarius. And then, of course, I'll just kind of put another pin on the map and I'll do another video for it. But on the 21st is the Great Conjunction. And of course, it's the winter solstice. So, so we're going to be looking for more ways to be innovative, revolutionary, open-minded, thinking out of the box, ways that we can collaborate with one another. We're going to be looking for our tribe. We're going to be looking for true friendships, not just friends, neighbors and people that the Gemini energy, where it's like, let's just connect with everybody and everything. The Aquarian energy says, I have friends, and it's more about quality, less about quantity. And so we're going to be looking for our tribe. We're going to be trying to find ways that we can get into like-minded conversations, like-hearted groups, that sort of thing, so that we can push our agenda out. So there's going to be quite a bit of group energy that says, here's our cause, here's our agenda, this is how we want to implement it. You have to listen to us because our voice is loud. And it's not just our voice, but our actions. Now, we do know there's a shadow side to it. So we've already had some examples of this loud voice in action called riots and looting and things like that. Not the best way to express this like-minded group individual or like-minded group mentality, but we can use it for positive when there's this, hey, we need to bring more diversity to the table. We need to talk about the issues that really need talked about, and we need to start implementing certain procedures and policies regardless of race, gender, religious affiliation, sexual orientation, all of those things. So we start to blur the lines a bit on humanity as individuals, and more on we start to come together collectively as we're all human beings, right? And we've had a taste of that with the non-binary group, that for those who identify with they or them. The other thing that I just want to offer, we're exhausted. I can tell you, I've talked to more people who are just like, I'm just exhausted physically, this last year in particular, but all this Capricorn energy that we've had, also all this Earth energy we've had for the last several years, it's been physically heavy. Now, it's also strengthened us physically. There's quite a bit of muscle building and bone building that has been happening, but boy, we're tired. And I would say that as this conjunction and we move into more air energy, we're going to have a lot of lifting of the exhaustion feeling. What I can tell you, though, is we're going to have to watch how heavy our mind can become, especially with Saturn in Aquarius for the next 2.5 years. So we have to discipline the mind. I would say mind training, mind treatment, mental health, all of those things are going to be really potent for us as we move forward. Because if we're not careful, we could get very fixed on a particular idea or cause or activity or group, and we could lead to here's a negative. We could start a cult of some sort, right? Where it's like, it's my way and this is how we do it. And everybody who joins, you have to do it this way. And, you know, we just get very fixed on a particular thing. And then we can get very heavy in the mind and we can overthink, or we can forget that there's a lot of other ideas out there that we can still learn from and that still have value. So we want to pay attention to that. I'll keep talking about this and pointing to it as time marches on. But I just want to offer, when this week with this new moon eclipse, with Saturn moving into Aquarius and then Jupiter following shortly thereafter, we should feel a lightness coming on for us. And it may take until the weekend before that happens, but play with it. You'll know, those of you who are highly sensitive, you'll feel the shift when it happens. The other thing that I would offer is, remember that we're downloading a lot of information and that will continue. So it's going to be important to stay grounded. I would offer that we use the image of like a lightning rod, where we're really grounded into our bodies, into the present moment, and staying open to receive all that wisdom and information and the unknown, the unusual stuff that will most likely get downloaded to us in the upcoming years. I believe that we're going to have quite a bit of science and technology breakthroughs, especially with Jupiter expanding Aquarius over the next couple of years and Saturn sitting there. I would imagine that it may be when Saturn actually moves out of Aquarius, when we finally get that big aha or that big moment, but we're going to be working towards that. And when it happens, we'll be ready. I know we will. And thank you so much for, you know what, being a part of this great humanity that wants to raise the vibration of this planet, whether it means that we raise it so far that we're, you know, levitating off, or that we, for me, when times get really tough, it's when I dig deeper. So, you know, raising that vibration for me is about getting so light that I can show up even more fully and more aware than ever before. So just know that I'm here for you, however I can be of service. Find me, jamiedawn.com. Once you listen, I'm so happy to be here with you. All right, you guys, I hope you have a great new moon solar eclipse. I look forward to hearing how all of this energy works for you. Stay tuned for more videos, because we've got a lot of cosmic energy leading up to the end of the year. All right, you guys, have a good one.